everything you need to know before you're moving to Norway. Let's call this video mini guide of basic things you must know before you make that final decision to move to Norway. Hi guys, I'm Anna and welcome to my channel. Here we're talking about successful relocation to different countries, including Norway, self-development, personal finance, opening online business in 2023, and all struggles will follow. So if any of these subjects resonates with you, if you're going through the same phase in your life, consider subscribing to this channel. Please smash that like button and let's go. Basic things, mini guide, mini video guide for everything you need to know before your final move to Norway. As many of you already know, I spent a little bit more than 3 years in Norway, and now I want to pass some essential knowledge to you so you will not repeat my mistakes. So basic things you better know before you actually flying to Norway. So I guess many of you wondering how to organize your international move to Norway. And surprise, it's not that hard as many of you might think. In fact, it's quite easy to move to Norway. Of course, if you have a valid reason for settling in that country, such as work or a school to attend to. And I promise you, you will quickly discover why moving to Norway is such a popular thing among experts from all over the world. Some of the clear advantages of establishing yourself in Norway are, of course, beautiful sceneries, great opportunities to develop your career life, which is good job prospects, a tolerant and incredibly accepting state, amazing maternity and paternity benefits, and, really important, free healthcare and education, even at the university level, even for international students, well, predominantly from European Union. Well, what else I possibly need to tell you to convince you that it's such a right move to move to Norway? You can never go wrong with Norway. It's such a good idea to actually move here. Although there are so many advantages of living in Norway, there are quite a few things the experts need to know before moving here. For example, be prepared to put down a security deposit equivalent to up to 6 months for your rent. The cost of living in Norway is also very high. Rents, depending on the area of the country where you live, will range from 20,000 to 40,000 Norwegian krona per month, which is equivalent to $2,200 to $4,400. Anyway, your pros and cons, well, you will explore them yourself, you will understand much better what works for you, what doesn't, but still, if you decide to move to Norway, let me give you 3 main points, key points you have to keep in mind. 4 points, sorry. Number 1, and everything you need to know regarding relocating your household goods and pets to Norway. The whole process of moving goods to Norway starts from figuring out which exact way to go and how to move and store your household goods. Of course, you can choose between air, sea and road. Keep this in mind that air is the most expensive option and sea takes the longest time. If you need to find a reliable source how to move your goods from one country to Norway, or you have any other questions regarding your relocation with a family, you know exactly what to do by now. All my contact details are here in the description to this video and I will be happy to consult you in private. I guarantee we can make your move to Norway smooth and successful. When moving to Norway, you will want to make sure you will familiarize yourself with all local customs allowances. For example, any beverage with more than 60% alcohol content are prohibited in Norway. You are typically allowed to import your personal household items as long as you can prove that they have been in your possession and you have lived abroad for at least 1 year. If you're moving to Norway with pets, you will want to make sure it's microchipped. That microchip will need to be ISO standard compliant. And if you're arriving with your pet from outside European area, you will need to give to Norwegian district office at least 48 hours notice. If you're moving with your dog or a cat from within European Union, they will need a European Union pet passport. While there are no vaccinations for pets required in Norway, there are certainly a few that are recommended by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention and the World Health Organization. This includes vaccinations for hepatitis A, B, and some others. your mini guide for visa types and work permit requirements. If you're wondering how to get a Norwegian visa or work permit, you will need to apply for what's called residence permit for work. This applies for highly skilled workers and self-employed, or looking to live and work in this Nordic country. But with these permits, the workers are allowed to bring their families with them to Norway, like spouses, children and cohabitants. The Norwegian visa applications process is streamlined and begins at Norwegian Directorate of Immigration website, UDI. Here you will find all the information regarding specific requirements that might apply for your individual situation. One of the main visa requirements for workers is, of course, the income level, similar to Norwegian norms. This means you must be paid, which is so-called collective wage. A minimum amount of a Norwegian worker would be paid at the same position with the same experience. The collective wage agreement assures that everyone is paid fairly. If you have a job where no minimum collective wage applies, the pay cannot be lower than what is normal for someone in your position at the place where you're working. For example, if the person requires master's degree, you must earn at least 428,400 Norwegian krona, which is equivalent to $48,450 per year. If your job requires a bachelor's degree, then you must earn minimum yearly wage of 397,100 Norwegian krona, or an equivalent of $44,950. Norway's visa cost for skilled workers and self-employed people is 5,400 Norwegian krona, which is almost $589. Other Norwegian visa types might include a family reunification visa, student visa, and some others. Our next in our mini guide of relocation to Norway and everything you need to know to find a home in Norway. If you're wondering how to rent a house in Norway, be aware that pretty much all accommodations in Norway require quite a large security deposit. Many experts are shocked when they find out that the majority of landlords in Norway will require at least 3 months of your rent as a deposit. However, your security deposit in Norway cannot exceed 6 months of your rent. The average rent in Norway is 8,470 Norwegian krona per month, which is around $1,000, but it strictly depends which area, which city of Norway you're planning to live. And of course, the prices will be much higher if you decide to reside in Oslo, the capital. But certainly, you can find much cheaper rent on the outskirts of Oslo or just a little bit away from the capital. Your utility bills may or may not be included in your rent. So the best way is to clarify it with your future landlord before you sign that property lease agreement. If you're wondering how to buy a house in Norway as a foreigner, you will be really happy to know that there are no restrictions for non-residents. You can purchase any type of the property, apartment, semi-detached house or stay-alone house, and even take out a mortgage, just like a Norwegian national. Although you will be required to show your payslips and income tax return as a proof of your income level. You will also need a D number, a temporary identification number provided for the foreigners. If you want to purchase your home in Norway, the average market price for a detached house in Norway is 24,950 Norwegian krona, which is equivalent to $2,280 per square meter. Last but far not least, part 4 of our mini guide of how to move to Norway and health insurance and healthcare system in Norway. Let me explain you. As an expert in Norway, you will find both a public healthcare and health insurance in Norway. But just keep this in mind that Norwegian healthcare system is to such a high level and it's really high quality that private health insurance in Norway is pretty much obsolete, and only 9% of Norwegian population actually purchase private insurance. If you're wondering how to find a doctor in this Nordic country, you will not have to look far. Once you are a part of national registry, you have all the rights to choose your own primary doctor from an approved government-provided list. You can even switch the doctor if you don't find yourself comfortable, but only twice per year. The general practitioner scheme is completely optional and you can opt out of it if you wish. growing family and giving birth is very easy in Norway. Because all healthcare expenses and also all pregnancy and birth related costs are covered. It was my comprehensive mini guide on moving to Norway. I hope you really enjoyed it, guys. And still, if you have some questions left, you have two options to follow. First of all, if you want to ask me some questions regarding your case in particular, regarding your situation of moving from your country to Norway, please arrange a private consultation with me. I will be happy to share my own experience and guide you for the further steps you need to take to move to Norway. Or option number two, you can always drop a comment in the comment section down below under this video. I'll do my best to get back to you. And for now, thank you so much for being with me today, for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next videos. Bye for now, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.